What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video, we're going to be talking about Workhorse, Lordstown Motor. I'm going to cover all of the other potential short squeeze companies that we talked about in the past, what to expect in the short term for these companies, short term price target, price prediction for these specific companies, and we're going to cover also the massive news that is affecting these companies. So I'm going to cover all this important information in this video coming up. So as you can see over here from the headline, the Wall Street Journal talked about a Lordstown Motor that they are running out of money. They don't have the money to even start production of their electric vehicles. So that is really massive news for Lordstown Motor. When this news came out yesterday before the market closed, the stock actually dropped significantly in spite of this news. But however, today it recovered a little bit. We're going to go over it later on to look at the technical analysis. But as you can see from the headlines, that electric truck maker is seeking more money after getting over $600 million last year. So we know Workhorse also owns a stake in Lordstown Motors. So if this company goes under, if they cannot be able to produce their vehicles, if they run out of money, unfortunately, that is going to affect the Workhorse stock at the same time. So that is really important for both Workhorse and Lordstown Motor for them to be successful together, because Workhorse own a stake in Lordstown Motor. So when you look at exactly the price action for Lordstown Motor today, yesterday it was trading close to $15. It's close to $16, just like as Workhorse was trading, going higher and higher. But right when the news drops before the market closed, it just drastically sold off, and today I hit a low of close to $8, and right now we're sitting at $11.23. After hours is down an additional 3%. So this is going to be a really crucial moving forward for this company to look at exactly, if they can potentially be doing more offering or find any kind of extra money to invest, finance, anything like that for them to actually get more money so they can start production in September. So if they're unable to do that, then this company can definitely be going under pretty soon. So the other important thing that can help, ride Lordstown Motor Company is that they have relatively high short interest, right? As you can see right here, they have more than 25% of their shares actually shorted. So if they can potentially get a massive short squeeze and they can actually raise money, they can be able to cover some of the expenses that are required for them to produce more vehicles. So they're currently sitting at 31% of their shares shorted, and they're shorting it mainly because of the reason that we just talked about. The company doesn't have any money, so unfortunately it can definitely go under pretty soon if they don't raise a lot of money. So we're currently sitting at 31.7% of the shares are being shorted. The number one stock that is heavily shorted so far, we have Workhorse stock also, which is shorted. 40.21% of the float is being shorted. So it's pretty massive for these two companies. And when you look at Workhorse stock today, perform relatively better than Lordstown Motor stock. It actually is doing pretty well. It's getting closer to $20 today. It actually was sitting at $18.50. We talked about there is a lot of options activity that's been going on, and the $20 strike price for the options, the $15 strike price we need to be watching out for this week, for this Friday. So it's going to be super interesting to look at how the stock is going to behave as we get closer to the expiration date for these options, which is going to be on Friday. So definitely be on the lookout. Definitely be on the lookout for the $20, $15 price target. So definitely keep an eye on the $20 and $50 strike price options that are expiring this upcoming week, depending upon what the stock price does. And also, when you look at compared to Lordstown Motor, this is actually behaving much, much better. Lordstown Motor is trading close to $11. Right now, we're sitting close to $17 for Workhorse stock. So yesterday, also, I talked about for Workhorse, ARK Invest, which is an ETF that focuses mainly on disruptive innovation technologies. They used to aggressively buy into Workhorse stock. So they've been accumulating Workhorse stock since last year, but unfortunately, they completely sold out of their positions. They do not hold Workhorse stock anymore as we talked about it yesterday. So they've been holding this specific company and their ARK-K and the RKQ ETF, which is going to be, they're holding Workhorse in their ARK-Q ETF, which is autonomous tech and robotics. Unfortunately, they no longer hold Workhorse. They sold 100% of their positions, so which is pretty bad, because I know a lot of retail investors, they really like Cathie Wood, what they had to say, and they were one of those, signs that they were holding Workhorse comfortably, because we had Cathie Wood that was still holding Workhorse stock, even though Workhorse didn't get the USPS contract, and we have some negative news with some of the company that's been coming out, especially for Lordstown Motors. They got attacked by short sellers saying that the company is a fraud. They really aggressively lied about their delivery numbers, their orders. So that is pretty bad, the stuff that's been going on for Workhorse, Lordstown Motors. But even though those things are happening, we got ARK Invest that aggressively started to buy into it, even when we had this massive drop over here when it went all the way to $15. But unfortunately, they completely sold out of Workhorse stock, so that's pretty bad in the short term. But the main thing that is helping the stock price to go higher and higher so far is that we got a lot of Wall Street bet individuals. We got a lot of retail investors that are buying into Workhorse stock right now, because of the massive short interest that we have in this specific company, which is more than 40%. So this is the only hope that is currently, making the stock to stay float above the $10 mark, above, the huge drop that we have over here, which is a low that it hit around like $7. It could have potentially went down even lower if these massive short squeeze drama did not happen with AMC and GameStop and etc. So, but so far, Workhorse is doing pretty good. It's benefiting a lot with this whole AMC short squeeze thing. So it doubled up from $7 all the way to $14. Now it's sitting at $16. So we'll see what could potentially go. As I mentioned, just keep an eye out for the $20 and $50 strike price options that are expiring on Friday. Clover is another company that experienced massive short squeeze yesterday. It was up more than 100%. Today, as you can see, is down 23%. After hours is down 3%. This is mainly due to the high short interest, and also a lot of retail investors from Wall Street bet. They came in and they bought in aggressively by driving the stock price to to squeeze higher and higher. So the short interest for this company is also relatively higher. It's on the list, as you can see. It's actually number 2, which has a relatively short interest of more than 36.6%, which is Clover Health Investments. So the other important companies, of course, we need to be watching out for, of course, it's going to be AMC and GameStop stock. So AMC stock is still trying to find a bottom price. So still in a range right now. We're sitting between $60 to $40 area. So it's really great. As long as it can consolidate within this price point, we can definitely have another leg up pretty soon in the near future. The price target for this company is, of course, it can go to $100. But we need to find a very solid consolidation point around over here for it to make new higher lows, lower highs, for it to just, base out pretty good, and we can have another breakout above the $72 area pretty soon. So we also have GameStop stock that announced the earnings report. Unfortunately, it's aggressively selling off to the downside, and after hours is down 5%. It was above $300 today, right before the market closed, and even hit a high of $344 yesterday. But right now we're sitting below $300. Unfortunately, the earnings was pretty good, but they said they're going to be raising more money by providing more shares. So that's unfortunate for people that are involved in the short term, but in the long term, it can definitely help the company. But unfortunately, it can definitely affect the short term traders that are holding options or anything like that. So definitely keep in mind this massive news that came out of their earnings reports for GameStop stock. So if you have any questions or comments about any of these companies, make sure you drop in the comment section below. And if you want to get some free stocks, free Bitcoin, check out the links in the description box below. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. But I'll catch you guys on another video. Peace out.